mostly a chaotic start. Today, he's getting back to a place where he's been known to thrive, the campaign trail. The president is holding a campaign event, and I just can't believe it, for 2020 already at the Melbourne International Airport here in Florida. He was at the Boeing plant in South Carolina yesterday. The president again promised to bring back manufacturing jobs. That's as Boeing unveiled its new 787 Dreamliner. Joining me this morning to break down the president's first month in office is our political analyst, Rick Mullaney. Rick, let's start by talking about the event today. He's on the campaign trail already, and he's only been president for a month. What do we think about this?
Well, really, this is Donald Trump's comfort level. And what he's really trying to do is to rally support, to sort of redefine how he's done in the first 4 months. Bypass the media, go to the people, talk about the issues that are important to him. It's the same thing I believe he was trying to do in his press conference on Thursday, the thing he was trying to do in South Carolina yesterday, and he's going to try to go directly to that core support, because he badly needs it, to try to readdress some of those issues.
Let's talk about that press conference on Thursday. It was a little hectic watching it. I kind of was feeling a little bad for him and then feeling bad for the people. It was just crazy.
It's must-watch TV. I recommend that everybody watch it. For his supporters, Rush Limbaugh calls it one of the most effective he's ever seen. For his detractors, Jake Tapper on CNN call it unhinged. For the people in the middle, let me say this. It's unlike any press conference we've ever watched.
That's what I was thinking. I guess that's a better way to describe it, because I was thinking, oh my goodness, what a situation.
In that press conference, you saw truly an all-out war with the media. He named by name the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CNN, even the BBC, and he took on the media. And he was in that press conference, he tried to redefine and reposition where he is, referring to it as a finely tuned machine. I don't think many people would agree with that characterization, particularly for the rollout of the immigration order. He's been reeling because of the resignation of General Flynn. There have been allegations, even from Republicans, Senator McCain, that it's an administration in disarray and that there's dysfunction at the national security level. For Donald Trump, it's been a tumultuous month.
I was going to say, let's talk about that, the cabinet situation, the shuffling. We've got the resignation. We've got the, hey, I don't want the job. You know, like, what's going on with the cabinet picks?
Well, so far he has about 13 of his cabinet members appointed out of his 21. People particularly do like his national security team. He does have to replace General Flynn, and his first choice did turn him down. But you're going to see more of, because of the votes in the Senate, he's going to get his cabinet approved. Donald Trump very much needs to get his team in place. He needs that because the tough work lies ahead. That really, beyond this first month, he's going to have to, in which presidents will use executive orders and presidential memoranda. Ahead, he needs congressional support for appropriations on health care, on infrastructure. He's going to need it for a wall, he needs it for the military, and legislation on health care and to reform taxes.
Now, I notice a lot of criticism from the Democrats on his picks thus far, but wouldn't it be the same way if it was the other way? If we had a Democratic president, would the Republicans be kind of picking on their picks, or is he making bad choices?
I think it's true that there'd be criticism no matter what, but for his conservative supporters, the highlights of the first month include his Supreme Court nominee, who they like his cabinet, they think it's very talented, and they like his policy direction, his executive orders and his memorandums when it comes to decreasing regulations, the direction on Obamacare, the direction on energy, increased military spending, trade. So for his supporters, they like this cabinet.
I was going to say, we do have a still that we can throw up on the screen, just kind of recapping the first 100 days, his first month in office. Gorsuch as a pick for SCOTUS nominee. That was considered a success for him. And then supporters are liking his executive action and cabinet thus far. But then we do, of course, have the failures. Michael Flynn, that controversy, and the travel ban. Now, do the failures like Flynn and the travel ban indicate long-term problems for the president?
I think the longer-term problems, those are problems. But there is this issue of competency in the travel ban. There is this issue of how he's conducting the White House, the disparagement that many people see. And so for conservatives, the high point of this first month, I do agree, was the Supreme Court nomination. For those who detract, they are more passionate than ever, and they are very concerned about this White House. And as I said earlier, the real challenge lies ahead when you have to have bipartisan support and build coalitions for your legislative agenda. So yes, those are warning signs that there may be some tough days ahead.
Oh, goodness. Well, we'll see how it goes. What else can we do? Thanks so much, Rick, for coming on. And, of course, if you want to read more up on politics, we have a whole politics section on news4jax.com.